Yes, you guessed it right. I'm in Whitechapel. Today I'm in Whitechapel, East London, the hunting ground of the world's most infamous, unidentified serial killer, Jack the Ripper. In the autumn of 1888, this area was a slum of poverty, fog and fear. 5 women were brutally murdered in the streets, throats slashed, bodies mutilated. The killer taunted the police with letters and vanished. I'm walking the same streets in 2026 to show you what remains, what the victims endured, and why the mystery still haunts us. Stick with me. Let's get dark. Let's go and find the very first street of the first victim. So here we are approaching the very first street of the first victim. Durward Street. The first alley, the first road where the things happened.
And like, whilst it's good, you know, people just get really for it.
Imagine this street in 1888. Mary and Nichols. This street before was called Bucks Row. Mary and Nichols, first canonical victim, August 31, 1888. Found here with her throat cut and abdomen mutilated. She was 43 and she was struggling with alcoholism. Today we see this street quite modern, but as I said, imagine 1888, no lights, darkness, different buildings, nothing in this alley. Jack the Ripper did his thing. We are now approaching the second street of the second victim of Jack the Ripper. And the street is called Hanbury Street. We have a Hanbury house here, called it. And here, to the right, it's Hanbury Street. Annie Chapman was killed on this street on September 8 in the backyard of number 29. Let's see if we can find it. And it was extensive mutilations. The killer took organs. Let's walk. Let's try to find out the number 29 on this street. Or maybe we'll go this way. That's how it looks. Whitechapel today. While we walk, you know, Whitechapel in 1888 was overcrowded, filthy and dangerous. Thousands of poor immigrants, prostitutes working the streets for a few pennies. No street lights in many alleys, thick fog from the Thames. The police were overwhelmed. Jack the Ripper didn't just kill, he butchered, often in under 10 minutes, and escaped a trace. We are on a famous brick lane. Aladdin, famous curry house, brick lane, by the way, as well. If you've seen the film Eastern Promises, loads of scenes were filmed here. Street art. Some beautiful pubs in here, but we're looking for 29. This is the Hanbury Street junction with Brick Lane. Where we're looking for number 29. $29 today looks like that. $30 is here. And 29, the opposite, is here. That's when the action by Jack the Ripper happened in 1888 in September. Just off the commercial road, a busy road behind me, we find Enrique Street. Where the third murder happened in 1888. street looks like this today. Elizabeth Stride was her name. On September 30th, killed quickly, possibly was interrupted. A long time ago, 1888, this street was called Duffield's Yard, later renamed to Barn Street and now Henrik Street. Elizabeth's body was discovered there around 1 a.m. by Louis Diemschutz, who drove his pony and cart into the yard. Her throat had been cut. But unlike other victims, her body showed no mutilations, likely because the killer was interrupted. Today's site of Duffield's Yard lies roughly in the middle of the playground of Harry Gosling Primary School. Here we go. The surrounding of Henrik Street today. We are here on Venture Street, and if we walk here to the left off towards east, we find Mitre Street. Mitre Street, Mitre Yard, that's where the fourth victim by Jack the Ripper. The fourth victim was Catherine Eddowes. On the 30th of September, the same day, same night as Henrik Street, Duffield Yards. Just 45 minutes later, he found Catherine here. Catherine was walking home from the police station. Catherine at the time was 46 years old. She had troubled life, married twice, first to Thomas Conway, with whom she had children, later in a common law relationship with John Kelly, suggested with alcoholism, and worked intermittently as a hooker or prostitute to survive at East Slums. On the evening of 29 September 1888, she was arrested for being drunk and disorderly. She had held in a Bishopsgate police station and released around 5 minutes to 1 on September 30th. After sobering up, her last known words to the custody sergeant was something like, "Good night, old cock," as she headed between Mitre Square and 8 minutes walk. Imagine this street in 1888. And Jack the Ripper finds her here. Today we have quite modern place in here, the famous Gherkin building. On the 30th floor there's a beautiful restaurant. In 1888 it was a different story. The fifth victim of Jack the Ripper. 13 Miller's Court. Unfortunately, this court, place or street in 1888 was named as the worst street in London. It doesn't exist anymore. The East London slums in 1920s were demolished and made space for different buildings. Whatever, the fifth victim, her name was Mary Jane Kelly, and not like other victims were killed on streets. She was killed in her own room that she was rented. She was Irish and she was the youngest of the victims, just about 25 years old. She moved to London after losing her husband, and she was singing and working in West End and was living at a rented room, as I said before, 13 Miller's Court. It doesn't exist anymore. The area looks like that today. As I mentioned, she was killed in that room, so the killer had enough time. And her body was found only 6 weeks later. Today, nothing remains. Here we go. Let's finish this Jack the Ripper walking tour in Spitalfields Market. Thank you very much for watching. Spitalfields Food Market, 6 p.m. It's pretty much empty.
Yeah,